We're probably
Something.
okay.
I know
We're
I'm doing something.
hello.
Let's go.
I emailed you Sunday. Was it Sunday or Saturday?
Are we live?
We're
We are
live.
live.
We're live. Okay, my inside's still hurting. If in case you all did not know, Mr. Henderson is part-time comedian. If he ever decides to retire, not fully retire, we don't want that for
Right.
him. But if he decides to pick up a new side gig, please, y'all. Oh my God, go see my daddy. Stand-up comedy. I'm talking about real tears. Okay, anyway. Whew.
I can't make
Today's a
no money doing
glorious
that.
day. You can. It'll be therapeutic for you, and people will.
It's
You will
therapeutic
make
when I
money.
talk behind the scenes with y'all. It's therapeutic.
You will make money, kind of
No.
like Chris Rock, who tells the truth or
Yeah.
has this level of honesty, and people
People
love
be
to go
hurt.
see
They
him.
wouldn't want to come to me as a. They don't want to come to me.
That's why I
I'm
said
talking
when you
about.
like that part of retired. All right. Why does it look so dark in
I
here?
could tell stories to you.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
I
It's
tell
funny
all
and
these stories.
it's life lessons and it's funny. Like it has principle with it and it's funny. I mean, your insides will hurt at the laughing.
Well, it's just real issues, real
Right.
incidents. You know what I mean?
But the way you say it, it's hilarious. Anyway, thank y'all for being here today. We're in July.
Isn't that something?
1 month closer to guess what?
Goddess Day.
Oh, you did
My
good.
child, when she was born on the planet, when she was hatched in, and she came to view and see and experience all this greatness that
Oh
she's
my God, it's so
hearing and seeing
magnificent.
now, all this stuff. Like, oh my God, it's never ending story. Just never ending. Just stuff that's happening all the time. I hope y'all have a good 4th of July. You know,
I didn't leave my house. That was wonderful.
you didn't. I went to go visit my mother, your
It
grandmother.
was
And I
pleasant.
came back. I was in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't leave my house. I made a carrot hot dog, but I didn't eat it because I didn't have the gluten-free hot dog bun. But I finally tried it. It's called a carrot dog. And I've been seeing it in
Wow.
my medical medium book, on Tabitha Brown's book.
You gotta let me try that.
I am. I made them. I gotta find the
It's better
gluten-free
than just a
buns.
vegan dog.
Well,
Different taste. It's all carrots.
right, because it's just a carrot.
Wow.
But you have to marinate it and then get it real soft. It was delicious, but I
It's
didn't have
shaped
the
like a
bun.
hot dog.
Well, you know a hot dog is just long.
Right.
So it was carrot, same thing.
Oh. Is
So
it
I
hard? Is it hard? Like that?
no because I cook it.
Oh,
So it's
oh,
not.
soft carrots.
Right. I cook them down, I marinate it, I cook it down,
Okay.
and I give it the flavor, the smoky flavor. I was like, oh, this is good.
Oh.
Oh my
You
goodness.
put condiments on it?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't. I don't that's all you. I'm gonna make some for the office. So yeah, I'll do that.
That'd be good. Okay. What are we talking about today, daughter?
Are we programmed to be poor?
Right. Right.
Before we get into that, we are the
Yes.
Henderson Financial Group. For
Yes.
those of you who are listening to us for the first time, because maybe a loved one, a family member, a coworker, someone who has your best interest in mind said, you got to watch this video. And here we are talking about carrot dogs, and you have no clue who we are. We are the Henderson Financial Group. I am Hyacinth Henderson. This is my pops.
Robert Henderson Jr.,
Certified
financial planner, certified tax coach, president, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group.
Yes, and I am the co-CEO of the Henderson Financial Group. I have been here for 22 years. I am a licensed stockbroker, a registered investment advisor representative, and also an insurance and annuity broker. And we love what we do. We like explaining what we do and how we serve people in a down-to-earth way. On Wednesdays, we talk more mindset, more metaphysics, more stuff that does not seem to be directly correlated to money, but all of it is.
Right.
Because as we know, money is just the result. And the things that we talk about on Wednesday, amongst other things, are the foundation that leads you to get you to some money.
Right. The mental part. You gotta
Right.
get your mind right before you can go.
Right.
Before you can come to Saturday. Because when I start talking to you about annuities and ETFs or real estate, you got to get the fear out of you. You
Yes.
can't have that fear. I'm scared. I've never done it before. So Wednesday, we talk about fear. We talk about your beliefs. We talk about your culture, how you have come to believe what you believe and why do you believe it. And just because whatever you believe, is it true, or someone told you that? Are you an independent thinker, or are you just regurgitating what you heard? And most people are doing that rather than being independent of themselves and being a free thinker. You know what I
Free
mean?
thinkers, yeah. And so the title of today's show is, Are We Programmed to Be Poor? I love that you chose this topic today. You always choose such great titles and
Yes, I do.
topics.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
do.
gosh, but
I
we
really
do.
do.
You do. I mean, I can't take that away from you. You do. You choose great topics. And I love this one so much today, especially because most people were off from work on Monday and Tuesday.
Yes.
And so, because you were off from work on Monday and Tuesday, for many people, today feels like a Monday
Yes.
because of your programming of, hey, when I have 2 days off, when I go back to work, it's Monday.
Right.
Instead of you being present and saying, wait a minute, it's actually Wednesday. What day of the week is it? What do I need to do? How many days do I have left of the work week and things like that? So, programming is often so subtle that we don't realize that it's the everyday things that we do that make up our larger routines and rituals and things like that, and which leads to the results in our life.
Exactly.
So, when we say, are you programmed to be poor? What we're asking you to do is to break it down and look at the little small routines that you have on a day to day. Look at your mindset, look at what you're thinking, look at your conditioning, look at what you have accepted, and ask yourself, is that leading you to poverty or prosperity?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's always two things that are happening
At the same time.
at the same time.
Mhm.
I want you to understand that. You have to understand that it's two things that are happening at the same time. Something else is going on. It may be subtle. Oftentimes it's subtle, and a lot of times you don't recognize it. Case in point, when when you feel like you need to feel good, um, then the powers that be, the system knows that most humans really rely on their five senses, and one of the avenues where this system can come in and uh, control you without you even knowing is through your feelings. It actually gets into your whole mindset and programs you, and it's an opening, and they come through the sense called feelings, how make you feel a certain way, and that's big business. That's $1 trillion business. That's a whole marketing scheme that a lot of merchants they thrive with. How to make the consumer, the individual, feel a certain way, so they can program you and make you do what they want you to do without you thinking that they made you do it. That is often hatched and entered through feelings. Case in point, I mean, you could be feeling bad, and all of a sudden the commercial comes on. It's Nordstrom's rack, or it's Kentucky Fried Chicken, or if it's a new brand new car, shiny with new perfume, or it's going to some sporting event, or it's a new concert that's coming on. All that is designed to attack and enter your mindset that you feel that you control through your senses, through feelings. And you want to feel good. And often people want to feel good. That's why, a lot of entertainers and actresses and actors are getting into the liquor business because it makes you feel good. And the pretty people, they enter into that. And the bottom line, it looks like it's just doing one thing. But the bottom line is money leaving your pockets, leaving you and going into them, and they're getting richer and richer while you're getting poor and poor, and you're happy about it.
Yeah, depending on what you're buying.
Yes.
Right. And so understand that the beautiful example that Mr. Henderson gave us is very real and very true.
Mhm.
Here is where you get to decide, okay, since I know that marketing for the most part is speaking to my feelings and how I feel, and things can make me feel good, and it's nothing wrong with feeling good, but you have to look at, okay, after this makes me feel good on the surface, how is this going to affect me in 30 days, in 30 years? What are the long-term effects of this feeling good?
And that's too far. They know that most people only think about now.
It's like, I don't understand.
Now, right now.
Like,
yes, yes. I know you lost for words.
Yeah, no, because what I was thinking is so many thoughts went through my mind. I'm just like, I don't understand how people choose to use drugs.
Because it's a now thing, right now, instant, right now.
But you do know that.
Well, every time you try to project what's going to happen later, you get inundated by now.
No, so
Now
so here's an example. So last week we didn't do the show. My son and I went to Bahamas, had a fabulous time in
Yeah, I
Bahamas.
seen the video, man. Y'all was
You
having a
did,
good
yes.
time.
And I want you to know that your grandson is not impressed by anything. So
Sharp, good. Now he's already on another level.
and then I said, I was just like, at one point I was like, wow, I would have been very impressed by this. But I told his dad, I said, we've done the work and we're continuing to do the work so that this is like normal to him. But I was like, hey, he was like, yeah, it's all right. Like, what do
You
you
expect that? I mean, he's just like,
right?
this is
Whereas my daughter, 20, she'll be 23, she would be like, oh, and she still has the wonder because she lived both lives, right? But anyway, so we check in and we get all, ready out. He's like, Mom, you can put on a bathing suit? Absolutely. So and the music, and I'm like, oh, in a little small voice. And for those of you who don't know, I don't drink anymore. So I stopped drinking when I turned 40. And the little music, little voice said, girl, go ahead and get you a little drink. Get you something tropical, right?
oh, entering that feeling,
Get that tropical, right? And just as quick as that little voice was like, oh, you could get something in a pineapple and be tropical. My other voice that I have been trained myself to listen to was like, girl, you know how you're gonna feel when you wake up in the morning. Like you do that and you know what's gonna happen. So what I'm saying is let's zoom out a little bit. You have to think about what's gonna come after the feeling.
But you have to have a strong wolf inside you because you got two wolves. And you got to have a strong wolf to say, nah, we ain't doing that.
And you can train that wolf. You can train yourself
yes.
to listen to which wolf.
That's even if you conscious of what you and I are even talking about right now.
So that's where it goes deep into what we're talking about. Are we programmed to be poor?
Yes.
Right.
Yes,
so the programming is so subtle, right? So here it is. I step off the airplane, I check in, they give us early check-in. I'm sunblock and all the vibes. So all the senses are hitting beautiful. Yeah. And programming says, get you a pretty drink.
That's right. Program.
You on vacation.
This is what we're supposed to do.
This is what you're supposed to do.
Right.
But you have to have something inside of you that says, okay, when you do that, what's going to happen next? So as Mr. Henderson, as you gave this beautiful example about the marketing and things like that, there's nothing wrong with marketing. Marketing just is. It's about you and your ability to be able to sift through the stuff and say, okay, this marketing is telling me that I need to go get those Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster. And I know that my cholesterol, my blood pressure, and everything else is high, and I'm supposed to be on a fruit and vegetable diet, right? But if I allow this programming to come to me and tell me, just go get you one biscuit, and you ain't driving to Red Lobster for one biscuit, right? So you go, before you know it, you done had a biscuit and everything else and some dessert to go on the side. At what point do you stop to say, how is this affecting my future? Is this leading me towards poverty or is this leading me towards prosperity? And when we're talking about poverty and prosperity, we're not only talking about money. In the Red Lobster example, if you go and do something based on the feeling and you allow that feeling, that commercial to get you up out of your bed and go get them biscuits, and you need to lose 20 pounds or whatever the case may be, or your arteries are clogged, that decision is leading you towards poverty of health instead of prosperity in health.
That's right.
And so when we talk about programming, we want to break it down to you in a way that you understand that it is these subtle actions that you take. Because marketers are going to do their thing.
And they're really good at what they do.
What?
They are so good at what they do. Marketers, oh my God, make you feel bad if you don't have them new Jordans.
Yeah.
You'll cry. Yeah. They make people commit crimes. People commit crimes for things and stuff that's going to change, fade away, and pass away.
Let me tell you, I used to not have a positive relationship with marketing because of that, because I knew that it's like, oh, you're just
not mind manipulating.
Right. And I used to, but more recently I've broken out of that because I realized, yes, Hyacinth, you understand what marketing is. I've always been fascinated with marketing. You understand what marketing is, but when you bring them into the Henderson Financial Group, when you bring them into your space, you are not giving them poison, you're giving them prosperity.
Yes.
And so that has allowed me to switch and say, and now, which is why I'm on this marketing kick, or we're doing all this marketing. As a matter of fact, somebody called last week and they said they found us on the internet, not the show, not Facebook, but by doing a Google search.
Oh, okay.
I was so excited about that.
That's good.
Because that means that the efforts that I'm doing are working. But here's the thing, because before 6 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, when I thought of marketing, I only thought about it as negative. No, you're playing with people's mind. You're telling them this and this and this. And That's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is, yes, you can speak to them and then bring them into your home where it's nice, warm, and comfortable, and you're going to serve them up goodness. Why am I sharing this example? I'm sharing this example because I don't want you to make marketing or external circumstances or people or environments the enemy. They're just doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and when you say they just doing what they supposed to
Mhm.
do, you know, it's like a football game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you really can't get mad with Team A because you're on Team B.
Mm-hmm.
Because Team A is doing what they're supposed to do. They're
Mhm.
supposed to tackle you and stop you and block you. You
Mhm.
can't get really mad at them. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I mean, it's kind of like politics. I mean, you're either a Democrat or Republican. You know what I mean? I mean, you really, some people really take it to heart. I hate Democrats. Oh my God,
Mhm.
well, I hate Republicans.
Mhm.
But they just doing what they're supposed to do. They are
it.
mind manipulating. They are really programming. They're people who back them
Mhm.
die hard. You know, I mean, it's amazing how people get programmed in beliefs because somebody else has said that, and it's not their own beliefs. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, you have some people that are argue over who is better, Michael Jordan or
Mhm.
LeBron James, and never met neither one of them.
Mhm.
You know, and say what they're gonna do and that's fairyland. That's like yesterday when I went to visit my mother, because you know I go on Tuesdays.
Mhm. Was the line long to get in there?
No,
Oh, you have a sticker. Can
I-
you get
I
me
have a
get a
pad.
sticker?
Yeah, I take a car and get it. Yeah, okay. Okay, so I go right through my
Mhm.
sticker. It goes right up. I'm not lying. So, but when I got ready to leave, they're coming home,
Mhm.
getting on I-75, coming home, getting off the I-75, going around the loop.
Mhm.
The loop getting around,
Mhm.
it was so backed up
Mhm.
because people were going into the park
To see the
to
fireworks.
see the fireworks.
Right.
So I had to go around,
Mhm.
make a U-turn,
Mhm.
and go a whole different way to get home. But
Mhm.
anyway, my point is they were waiting. Now these are adults. I know they probably have kids, but a lot of them I seen in the car was adults, and they were waiting, going to see the fireworks. And I said to myself, I'm 64 years old, and these people are. I mean, really, who are we really kidding? Pop, 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 pop.
I'll tell you something after this story. It's go make you
Really?
laugh.
And then I said, tomorrow we all got to go to work, act like nothing happened, and hate each other, and get in traffic. And but this day on 4th of July, we just pop, 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 pop. It's just so temporary. And we just get all people go in the store and get the hot dogs and the food. People ask me, Henderson, do you have anything over your house? I said, no, I haven't in my house.
I like fireworks though.
I mean, okay, but I'm not getting ready to go waiting online. Pop, 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 pop.
Right.
Go get some. But when are you gonna grow up? Okay, I know a lot of y'all don't agree with me.
I love fireworks.
It's just where I am, but I was not going to. I was so glad when it was over outside my house. Pop, 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 pop.
Did it end at a decent hour?
Yeah, I mean, it ended before 12 o'clock.
Oh my goodness, I'm nodding off and all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a minute, where am I at?
Grown people, and they spend a lot of money. Pop. I mean, like, okay, all right.
Right.
And you know what's amazing about me? All this whole everybody unity and 4th of July, and the next day everybody hate each other again.
It depends on your environment.
You know,
I'm not around people who hate each other.
No, what I mean in terms of the country is so divided.
Oh, yeah, I guess it
Yeah,
is.
the country together with 4th of July, then the country so divided. Like next day, why don't we carry this on to the next
Well,
day?
because
next
it's
day,
all
next
make
day?
believe. You know this. This is all
Because
pretend.
It's a program.
It's pretend.
It is programmed.
It's all
And I
pretend.
refuse to lie to Robert
Profound
Henderson.
statement.
Yeah,
Profound statement that you said you refuse.
I refuse.
And so going back to the marketing example, an example of programming and the examples that things just are, you get to choose.
Yes.
And that's where your power is.
You gotta
But
take it back
the masses, most people don't realize that they get to choose.
and follow the crowd.
And then wonder why, like, oh my gosh, I am here. I'm in poverty land.
95% of
Yeah.
people are in poverty land.
Yeah.
95%
Yeah.
of the 340 million people in America are in financial trouble.
Oh my God.
95% are in financial trouble. It's going to need the government support, help, or something. 95, and it's black, white, cross ethnic lines. There's only 40 million black people. But you talking about 341 million? There's a lot of people that ain't black that's in poverty too. There's a lot of poverty out here. There's a lot of people that they're like squirrels eating all of their nuts. That's because it's a program. Case in point, had a young couple last week.
Mhm.
He's 34, she's 37. He makes $104,000 a year. She makes $130,000 a year.
Mhm.
They spend every dime.
Mhm.
Okay, so I said, listen, I need you to save $1,500 a month, sir, I need you to save $1,500 a month, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
$1,500 a month times 12, 18,000 for you, 18,000 for him. I talked him into it. Okay, I showed him why he needs to love himself and for his own money, his own 104,000 that he gets to do whatever he wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of money. That's over $200,000 in 10 years. It's over $2 million that went through their hands. And guess what the woman said? She can't do that. She got to get her red bottom shoes, her fingernails. They eat out $1,000 a month. They have grocery $1,000 a month. They have one little child, and they just got to travel. They spend it. It's like that is like a squirrel that's eating all the nuts and not saving none for winter or hard times or just putting money away to prosperity. That's a program. Most of us are programmed to feel good. I want you all to notice. I see, even when you went to last week, when you went to the Bahamas and you took my grandson, he wasn't that impressed. He's 12 years old, but he's really smart.
As a matter of fact, he said, did you get the tickets for New York already?
And you want to take him to New York, right?
I said yes. And I said, why? Because he's like, I don't want to go no more. I said, no, I already bought them tickets.
Listen, because he realized, he really tuned in. Everything that you see, everything that you can see, I'm telling you, everything that you can see, from the cars to the clothes or whether they fade, they get old, and they pass away. And if you get so carried away, you put all your might in something that's going to fade, change, pass away, disappear. You got to wonder, after you do that today, you do it next year, you do it next year, you do it next year, you got to start at least saying, hold on, wait a minute, I think I'm being duped. And if you don't have money, we're getting closer to the haves and the have-nots. I was just reading about their CEOs like Heinz Ketchup. The guy make $250 million a year. That's his salary. That's what he makes. I mean,
isn't that lovely?
Isn't that fantastic? Yeah. I mean, CEOs, these people are making that. These people and this couple here make $200,000, 104, 130, and they spending every dime. And 10 years from now, they're gonna be 10 years older
and still spending every dime.
Spend every dime. That is a program. We are being programmed, marketed to spend every dime we have and not even know it. And then later on saying, why I don't have this. That's why a lot of the wealthy people don't feel bad for you, because you have got to be able to train the wolf inside you. There are two wolves. I should talk about, there's a wolf and there's another wolf. One wolf is telling you to get it all, eat it all. It's the lower self. The other wolf is the higher self, which is you have to be strong, because the good wolf has to be able to withstand all this marketing stuff that tells you to get drunk, get high, eat all, spend all your money, don't save none for you, save it for the merchants, make the merchants rich, go out, eat out, and then save nothing for you. A lot of people do not really love themselves. You love yourself by you looking at your net worth. That's how you can really keep score. What is your net worth? What is your assets minus your liabilities? What do you have left?
And you can't love everybody listening to this. If you don't have life insurance, you have to question, do you really love your family?
Exactly.
Really? Because I love you so much. And then when you die, they like, how we gonna do this? I thought you loved me.
What was that called? What kind of, they take up what? A collection? What's it called?
A GoFundMe.
GoFundMe, yeah.
They want to do GoFundMes and stuff like that and things like that. So you have to really think about that and ask yourself about the behaviors that you're taking now. And are they in alignment? Okay, it got to be an emergency. Are they in an alignment with what you say you want?
Yes.
I know it got to be an emergency.
Yes. So today we're talking about, are we programmed to be poor? And yes, they do program them. All of the powers that be, from the radio to the TV to just social media. A lot of people get into social media, man, and they brag about what they have and what they do, and you feel like, oh my God, I got to go too, and I got to do that, and you don't even know these people, So
So ask yourself, yeah. So when we talk about programming and we talk about poverty and we talk about prosperity, understand that on a larger scheme of things, that your programming is mostly consistent of what you do every single day and what you accept. So sure there is conditioning, sure there is outside messages that comes to you, and that's why we said they aren't to blame, because if you blame the marketers and you blame your husband and you blame your children and you'll be blaming people and you still won't get ahead. So we understand that they're doing their job, but when you really get down to programming, ask yourself, what are you doing? What are you accepting? And then what are you then taking action on? And those are two very important spaces for you to start at. Like, what am I accepting? Because your life really is a reflection of everything that you've accepted. Everything that you have accepted as true, everything you have accepted as enough, everything you have accepted as the standard, everything you have accepted as the tip of the iceberg, or the highest of the highest. Just like what Mr. Henderson said, the Heinz CEO makes how many millions a year?
256
And I'm
million.
like, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal,
And
right?
what is that? Peloton guy
Mhm.
does that too.
And so here it is.
That's his
There are
salary.
people
That's what he
who think that making $200,000 a year is the most that you can make. So when I talk about what you've accepted, you may have accepted that $50,000 is the most that you can make, and that is good. What is the difference between you and the CEO of Heinz or Peloton? Now we get into activating, taking action, because once you become aware of what you've accepted, now we're going to take action. Because it's like, okay, Hyacinth and Mr. Anderson, I'm trying to pick up what y'all putting down. I'm understanding this. How this man gets to make 200 million? How are these people getting ready to do, able to do these things? It's because of what you've accepted. And so now that you're aware of what you've accepted, now let's activate something new so that you can change your programming. And the activation starts with you. It doesn't start with anyone else. It doesn't start with you saying, I want more, I want to take more vacations, just because they're doing it and maxing out your credit cards. It starts with you saying, oh, I want to activate something inside of me that is going to produce the results that give me more money, more prosperity. I'm going to activate something inside of me that produce the results that give me more prosperity of health, prosperity of wealth, prosperity of good cheer, prosperity of quality food. What do you need to do to activate that? So when we talk about programming, it starts off when you first hear it, it may start off something external, but I want you to know that you have more power than you believe and that you know. And you can always deprogram and reprogram whenever you and only you, not your daddy, not your sister, not your husband, nobody else. When you are ready to deprogram and reprogram, then you can do better. Only then.
Yes, that's true. And Heisey, to pick up what you just said, I think that a lot of people haven't kept tuned with the value of money.
Go a little bit deeper.
So I remember growing up. I'm 64 in a few months. I'll be 65 years old, right? So I remember growing up when you can have a penny, you can get a bubble gum. In other words, you have a penny, you put it in a bubble gum machine, you can get one bubble gum, 1 penny. Now, so then that changed. Then the penny went to you need a nickel to get one bubble gum, and then it changed. You need a dime to get one bubble gum, and then it changed. You need a quarter to get one bubble gum. There's no more penny machines. There's got to be at least a quarter to get one bubble gum, right? Okay, so you see where I'm going, right? Time has changed. So when you have someone that call our office and they're 55 years old and they say, listen, I want to buy a house and I have $3,000 saved. Well, they think, in other words, that person still think a bubble gum costs a penny.
Right.
How can you be 55 years on the planet and not know that you need more than $3,000 to buy a house and with a big yard, as he stated?
Yeah, he has a boat. Sorry, I know who you're talking about. He has a boat.
Okay, but to buy a house, he has to know the value of homes, especially here in South Florida. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, they're all over $400,000.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know that though.
That's what I'm saying. They don't understand that the bubble gum does not cost a penny anymore.
Right.
Oh, they do not know that when you go to the post office, you can't take 10 cents to buy a stamp. When I went, it's 63 cents to buy a stamp now.
Wow.
And it's a lot of grown people, not just children. What I am totally amazed that it's so many grown people that say they save for retirement $25 a pay period.
That's it.
That's it.
It's interesting. It's very interesting. I'm glad you're bringing this to the show today,
Program to be poor.
especially about the cost of things gradually and consistently going up.
Yes.
When Erin and I, we went to the spa to celebrate her birthday,
Uh-huh.
and we were talking about inflation, and I said, you know what? It got to the point that I realized that what we're experiencing, our parents, our grandparents, and our ancestors have all experienced it.
Yes.
So why are we making a big deal about it?
Right.
There's no need to make a big, because surely we remember the stories when they would say, oh, a gallon of milk used to cost 50 cents.
Yeah.
We remember those stories. And when we were hearing those stories, it was like, oh, it didn't matter
Right.
because that was in y'all time.
Right.
But for some reason, it didn't click then that this is going to happen in our time.
Oh, it's gonna keep happening.
It's going to keep happening.
Yes.
And it must keep happening.
So that's why I don't understand why the 55-year-old still think he $3,000. He can buy a whole big old house.
He's not thinking.
He's still back in horse and he's still back when a penny could buy a bubble gum.
It's the programming. But here's the thing. I want everybody under the sound of our voice to know that things are going to consistently and forever go up. That's not good or bad. It just is.
Yes. That's just like the
Let
sun.
me tell you how beautifully that aligns with you and the way that the creator made you. The creator made you that you are supposed to consistently and continuously grow, learn, evolve. Because as you consistently grow, learn, and evolve, guess what? You then produce more value. And when you produce more value and you share your talents, aka your gifts, with the world, because you're consistently growing, learning, and evolving, you get more money.
Right.
So as things go up, so does your money that you receive, your income.
That's right.
But a lot of times people are disconnected from purpose. So that's why we always talk about purpose, right? A lot of times people are disconnected from really what's supposed to be happening here. You are not supposed to be programmed watching the program. Remember back in the days, they Granny used to say, I got to watch my program.
Yeah.
I got to put my picture.
Program.
You're not supposed to come home and watch your program every day and then complain about the price of things and then get on Instagram or social media and say, I want those things, but I can't afford those things. And since I don't have the money for those things, I'm going to go borrow somebody else's money for those
Credit
things.
card.
And they're going to charge me 30% interest for those things. And I'm never going to pay off those things.
Right.
That's not how that works.
That's the system.
So how do you break free of that?
The system.
So what you have to say is, wait a minute. And Mr. Henderson just told us that bubblegum used to cost 1 cent. You're right. It did. I remember we did used to be able to put a penny or a nickel in there, right? Are we supposed to be upset? That's why I said things just are. If you're just joining us, go back and watch the beginning of the show. It makes no sense for you to get upset with the players and how they're doing. They
Program to
wrong
be
for
poor.
doing this and this and no. Are you doing what you're supposed to be doing? Because those things are going to continue to go up. They've been doing that since the beginning of time. If so, we would not be here.
See, this is real financial education because what we're talking about right now, what we're talking
Yeah.
about now is real financial literacy.
Absolutely.
This
It's
is
the stuff that we
real.
need to hear.
That's right. This is real
Yeah.
financial literacy. This is real financial. That all like coach sheet about what's a bank and how to go use a bank and all that. All that.
It don't matter.
More lies. Pocahontas,
It don't matter.
Christopher Columbus discovered
Yeah.
America. More lies. Lie.
Yeah.
You got to understand what's really happening around you. You got to pay attention. You got to really pay attention. So if you got $3,000 and you saying you want to go buy a $400,000 house, you out of touch.
You out of touch. And you need to go. What you should be saying is, how can I make me some more money?
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense for you to say, why the house is so expensive. They is.
Yeah, that's
Now
right.
what? What's up?
You're supposed to be saying, okay, what do I need to do to buy this house
Right.
for $400,000?
Right.
How much I need to save
Right.
each month
That's
or
right.
each week? What interest rate I should
Yeah.
be getting
Yeah.
in order to buy this house, and how long it's going to take me to be able to buy this house if I save certain amount of money. That's a goal and that's a plan.
Right. That gives you something to focus on.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
If
Complaining
you're not
is not,
doing
yeah.
that, then
Yeah.
remember the advertisers, the marketers are at you 24/7.
Mhm.
You got eyes to see. You listen. You was on a budget and you sitting home. And all of a sudden, you seen that Red Lobster feast, all you can eat shrimp. Why did I have to come on the TV? Because all of a sudden now you going. You didn't you didn't plan that an hour ago, but that commercial came on, and man, all of a sudden your mouth started getting watery, and the programmer said, "Yeah, this is what you want, don't you?" You know, Stephen Jobs, Apple founder, he said people don't know what they want.
You gotta tell them what they want.
You got to tell them what they want.
And honestly, I found that to be true. I really found it to
What
be
the
true.
marketers, I mean, that's what the
Yeah.
marketers do.
Yeah,
They found it to be true.
At first I was like, oh no, you tell me. And I was like, wait a minute, hold on. You don't know. I found that to be true. It really, really is true. And it's not, again, it's not good or bad. It just is recognizing what you know and what you don't know, and then aligning with somebody who knows what you need to know.
That's right.
Right. And like, okay, well, I'm not sure about this, but I know that I want to be wealthy one day. I know that I want to have freedom one day. I know that I want to be able to live this certain type of lifestyle one day. Let me align with someone who knows these things. Let me align with the people who are studying these things day in and day out. I want to go back to the talking about, as things go up, they're supposed to go up, and there's no sense in you complaining about the prices of houses in South Florida. And you were in South Florida, and you've been in South Florida all your life, and now they running you out of South Florida.
Taxes too high.
Right. So, and this is a very real scenario, right? So here's the thing: you're on one side of the fence. You're either like, okay, y'all want to play? I'm suited and booted. I'm going to continue my education. I'm going to acquire a new skill. I'm going to raise my prices. I'm going to get out there so that I can continue to live here. Or you're going to say, you know what? That's my time. I got to go.
Well, what happens, remember I say, it's always two things going on.
Mm-hmm.
So why you got the 9 to 5 job
Mm-hmm.
and you're on fixed income,
Mhm.
you only working one job because somebody told you can't work two. Okay. Somebody told you can't get money. Somebody said no more money.
Just get a job and go home.
That's right. So
Mhm.
now you see the prices and the cost of living in South Florida is rising above.
Mm-hmm.
You see this coming.
Mm-hmm.
So what you say to yourself, you don't realize they already said, we want you to move, because you can't hear them.
Right.
What they say is, we're going to continue to raise the prices of the taxes, property taxes, and we're going to continue to raise the insurance prices, costs for owning a home. And we ain't telling you, you're going to tell yourself, but I'm telling you what we want you to do. We want you to move.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, as prices rise and the
Mhm.
cost of living rise, you're going to say, I got to move out of Miami
Mm-hmm.
but you really didn't have to. But you didn't do anything because you still kept on hoping that the price of the bubble gum was a penny, but it keeps going up. So you keep hoping that the price of the homes are going to be lower. No, guess what? They're going to be more 10 years from now. And if you still in that fixed income because you're eating all your money, all your nuts, and you're not putting no money away so you can stay with the time cost of living, then you're going to have to do what? Move. They didn't tell you they're going to make you move. Indirectly, they told you you're getting ready to move.
Yeah.
So genius is making you do things that they want you to do, but making you think it was your idea
Mhm.
to do it.
Yeah.
That's genius, because then they can't be blamed. That's genius, ain't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Tis the season for your money to be making money for you.
Yes.
Let's go back. And a lot of people who are watching this are not in this boat. You're not in the boat where your money is making money for you. You're in the boat where you have to exchange time in order to receive the money. And then when you receive the money, you go spend all the money. And you're like, oh, yes, this is how we do it. And I see it. I'm like, how y'all spending this money like this? I know, like, what? You're like, okay, I got to exchange some time. I do the time. They give me the money, and then I go spend it all. And then when you
Feel
look
good.
at your accounts, you have nothing. We're in the season where you go make the money, they pay you the money, and then your money makes money for you. If you are not doing that, if you are not at the starting line, if you're not in the game, if you're like, hi, Cynthia, Mr. Henderson, I hear what you're saying, but I want to spend all mine, you're going to have to move. There is no sense in you complaining. We're
That's
not
right.
complaining. When somebody tells me, oh, it's only good for people who have money, get you some money. Get some money. We're grown now. Get some money. So we're saying this because we really want you to understand this, that you have the choice. You don't have to leave your job and go start your own business right now. Just look at what you're doing with what you have.
Right.
Most of our clients, when we look at what they have and what they're doing, what they have, they are doing things out of order. That's why they come to us. They're saying, hey, I'm making $200,000. I'm making $150,000, but it still feels like I am poor. And because we say you're not doing things in a certain way.
You gotta do things in a certain way. Plus, you have to have a goal. So when they come to us, we put them on a plan and a goal to accomplish it. Now, we love that. That's what we're here to do. We just don't like the ones when we tell them, listen, you're spending way more than you have to spend on things and stuff that fade away. And when they say, no, I can't do that, that means we know that that person has been programmed.
You're gonna be moving soon, boo. It's okay. You're gonna be moving. You're gonna be looking for moving boxes and stuff. And understand when we're saying moving, you don't have to live in South Florida. We're not only talking about literally, we're also talking about figuratively.
Right.
That means something is going to shift, because if you refuse, like Mr. Henderson says, if you eat all your nuts because you allow the programming to penetrate your subconscious mind, and you're not able to have control over which wolf you listen to. If you keep allowing that to happen, you're going to have to figuratively move. You're just going to keep getting shuffled and shuffled and shuffled and wondering why your life is here. That's because you have not taken charge of your life. And so when we talk about eating all your nuts, listen, the vast majority of people eat all their nuts. We know this.
Yes, they do. 95% of y'all eat all their nuts. And
We know this.
the factor that's coming is longevity.
Yeah.
You know what longevity means?
Oh my gosh.
That means that you're gonna live longer than you thought you was gonna live. So then if you eating all your nuts, you're gonna run out of money, and they're gonna put you over there near the fence with all those people.
Yeah.
And you're gonna wonder what happened. And you can't go back and get time back.
And-
I'm telling you.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I want you to understand it. And it's about being aware. It's really about being aware, because shifts are so subtle that you don't realize what's happening, that you just out here having a party, eating all your nuts. And before you know it, you're going to be like, how I be homeless? How did I get in this
What
situation?
happened?
Here's the thing. When you walk into stores, the grocery store, Walmart, Publix, stores like that, you have more self-checkouts than regular checkouts. Here's the thing. For people who don't have a skill and are not highly educated, there was a time when Walmart will hire you, Target will hire you, you go be a cashier. They're like,
Walmart greeter.
they're not doing that no more, baby. They're not. So now you're like, all right, I done played, I done ate all my nuts, I had a good
And
time.
I'm getting old.
Let me come over here and let me just give me a little piece of job. They're like, we don't need you. We don't need you anymore. So what are you going to do then?
And you can't die. You ain't dead yet.
Mm.
You may wish you were
Man,
dead,
this
but
is
you
big.
you keep living.
Yeah, this
Because-
is a big deal.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
In 2035, there are gonna be more old people than young people on the planet. Isn't that something? I'm telling you, we're living longer with the medicines and science and stuff. We're living longer. That's one of the biggest. If you're looking down the road, because you got to always plan. Now, we don't know what's going to happen today or tomorrow, but you always going to plan. If something happens that's unforeseen and you give it the ghost and you in heaven, then it's okay. You ain't got to worry. You got to worry if you you're still alive. That's the risk. The risk is if you still alive and you done spent all your money
Right.
on an old car. It was new, but now it's 10 years old, and y'all know what's happening to them parts. Them parts breaking down because it's the system. It's designed to break down.
Supposed to.
And now the car costs triple. You like, what? And you don't fix income. And a robot done got your job. I'm telling you, we're not trying to scare you. We're trying to help you to plan. You need to call the Henderson Financial Group 305-825-1444.
Yeah.
Say it again, darling.
305-825-1444.
We have something called
Yeah.
GPS where you
Yeah.
can look at it. We can put your numbers in and we can tell you exactly what you need to be doing
Mhm.
in order to you won't outlive your
So you
money.
won't outlive your money. Yeah. I love it. I love that system so much because it allows you to see exactly where you are.
Yes.
I ain't even got to make this up. I'm gonna show you exactly where you are, and then I'm gonna let you tell me where you want to be. You driving this car, Playboy? Like wherever you want to be, you tell me. And oh my goodness, let me tell you one thing that everybody always says: I want to retire ASAP.
Oh my God.
ASAP. Nobody I have yet to run into somebody is like, oh, I want to work till I'm 90.
They want to retire ASAP. Like right now. They want to start. They want no more money.
And I'd be like, okay, let me put it in the GPS. You right here. You want to retire ASAP. Well, according to this, you're gonna run
It's
out.
like saying, okay, I want to drive from Miami to New York,
Yeah.
and I want to get there tonight
On a quarter tank of gas.
on a quarter tank gas.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
you say that? Have you looked at your numbers? No, I just what I
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, that's why we
Oh.
like the GPS. And as a matter of fact, starting August 1st, well, August 1st, but then we'll take a break on Goddess Day. So starting August 1st, let me just keep going with it. August 1st, we're going to start doing our first appointments are going to be via Zoom because we want to show you where you are. Like we're going to put your numbers in a GPS immediately,
Right.
immediately. So when you book an appointment, when you book your introductory call, understand that you're going to have to be stationary because I'm going to show you the GPS. I'm going to pull it right up and show you like, okay, let's get to the nitty gritty. And so we're going to start doing that August 1st, whatever day that falls on. But in August, we're going to start
I don't know if
that.
it's on a weekend or what, but first
And
weekend,
then we'll take a
let's say
little
the
break.
first week in August. Yeah.
On God this day, we'll take a little break. And then we'll resume.
So we'll put your numbers in
Yeah.
and we'll show you like GPS.
Yeah.
Like you from here, you want to go to there. We're going to tell you how long it's going to take. If you're going this amount, you're saving this amount, or if you're saving that amount, how long it's going to get to your destination and longevity until your life expectancy. Most people don't know the life expectancy.
Yeah.
But if you tell us your age right now, do you know Big Brother, Big Sam, Big Mother in the sky? They got a life expectancy for each and every one of us. If you're 40 years old, you say, well, this person should live to their 84 years old. Or this person should live to their 90. You need to know your life expectancy. Believe it or not, it's better. It's like reading your horoscope. They're pretty close. And they'll tell you, we'll put in your Social Security. We'll say exactly what's supposed to be coming to you. If you have a pension, if you're eating all your nuts, we'll tell you what you need to do to catch up in order to get to that certain goal. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. So y'all definitely got to tune in. Yeah. It's a wonderful thing. At least you want to know.
You want to know. And the reason why, and so usually I don't prefer Zoom. So that's why this Zoom thing is a big deal for me because the introvert in me doesn't like Zoom. But the reason why we're making this shift, thanks to Mr. Henderson saying, hey, why don't we start doing this August 1st? Right. I love that. President, Mr. President. The reason why we're doing that is because we understand that when we have the first discovery call or introductory call and we have this conversation, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes people will leave the call feeling so good about what we talked about, and then they'll think that they have time. And they're like, oh, I'm good. I could coast a little bit. I can call them back in 6 months. And that's what happens.
Yeah.
And some people, I don't even know if you have an alarm clock set, but it's like a year. And I pull up, I'm like, oh, I spoke to you a year ago.
Yeah.
Right. And so you think you have time because when you have that first call with us, we speak to you in such a down to earth way, in a cool way. And it's like, oh, okay, I have time. And so you go away. And then when you come back 6 months to a year later, you are even further from your goal than you want to be. And so we said, no, let's do something. We're going to start something where we show you right now, like we're going to speak to you in a down to earth way, but we're going to show you exactly where you are right now. And if you don't do something today, not tomorrow, but if you don't do something today where you want to be, this is how long it's going to take you to get there. This is what you're going to have to do. Are you going to have to work longer? Are your investments going to have to earn a higher rate of return? Are you going to have to save more every month? And so those are usually the options that we give. And the number one option that nobody wants to take is nobody wants to work longer.
That's right.
They want to retire sooner. And so we say, okay, you don't want to work longer. Okay, let's talk about your investments. What rate of return do your investments need to earn so that you can continue to live in the standard of living that you're living today in the future?
Snaps you right into reality.
Right. And so it snaps them into reality because some people don't have no investments.
Right.
And you like investments. Okay,
retire.
that remember we run the tape back. That's when we talk about your money making money for you. But then let's go deeper. What rate of return do your investments need to make so that you can maintain the standard of living that you're living now in the future? This is very important because here's the thing. Nobody wants to retire and start eating beanies and weenies. Like, let me tell you, when I retire, I'm not going to start eating lettuce. Like, I'm not going to wait to say, okay, you're no longer doing this. You're no longer traveling. Now that I've retired, I'm going to scale all the way back and do this. And most people don't understand that. But this is why I share things with you about the jobs, about the prices. These are all telling. When you see the prices of homes going up, they're not going to stop. They're going to keep going up. When you see that less employees and workers are in stores, that should indicate to you, well, jobs, why these people, what
artificial intelligence, AI.
Do I know, or am I still one of those people that don't believe in artificial intelligence? Am I one of those people that don't believe in digital assets, which blows my mind when people don't believe in digital assets because everything that you do is digital right now.
And the thing is that, I mean, you can't say nobody told you.
Yeah.
You can't say that you did not know. You just can't, because information is all around you. You have to be a grown up and put on your grown up pants or skirt or whatever. And you have to, pay attention, because, everybody has a chance. You just got to act now because it's your life. Ain't no they going to take care of you. Ain't no them going to take care of it. You are an adult and you're responsible for your actions. And at the Henderson Financial Group, we know where you are. But we like what we do because we know that a lot of people need help. A lot of people need help, and you can't get time back. And you can do this, but you just got to have the information. So that's why we like this GPS, this new system that we have, because it's a visual. You can actually
Yeah.
see it. It's not just in words. Okay, it's not typed up. It's actually in living color. You can see your
Yeah.
your situation. It's in color. And it's a diagram. You can see the flow. You can see exactly what's happening down the road. So I think it's going to be. Matter of fact, I know it's going to be very good for you all. It's going to be shocking. Some of you all want to retire and you can't retire right now unless you're going to go live in a tent. Because remember, the cost of living is going to continue to
It's
go
going up.
on. It's not going back. The cost of things and stuff, merchants, most of merchants do. And we're getting closer and closer toward the haves and the have-nots. You got to decide whether you're going to be a have or a have-not. And the have-nots never get treated equally. Your rights, everything, they discriminate against you. So you definitely want to have your act together. So we can help you in a still time. All you got to do is call 305.
825-1444.
Let's
Once
say it
again,
again,
305-825-1444. And the initial call costs you nothing. We're
Right.
gonna show you your numbers, your colors. You're gonna put some pictures up there so that you can see where you are, because we believe that awareness is key. We really believe that once you see where you are, then you're like, okay, let's do something.
And this is something like
Let's make a change, yeah.
experienced. You don't
Yeah.
get it from Merrill Lynch. You don't get it from Zach.
The other
Morgan
guys
Stanley.
just
You don't
say
get it
you
from none of
guys,
that.
yeah.
They don't know. They don't do this. They just want to take your money and invest it. We want to help you so you can live and won't outlive your money.
That rate of return one is a very good question. I think everybody on here should ask themselves that. Like,
Yeah.
ask yourself, what rate of return does your money need to be earning so that you can
In order
continue
for it to-
living the standard of living that you're living today in the future? That one. And something else that I want people to think about as we wrap up today's segment is to think about how much you are, I was going to say borrowing, but I really want to say robbing your future self.
Yes.
How much are you robbing your future self? So when you
Future
gave the
dollars.
example of the couple who combined, they're making like 230 and they don't want to save,
I don't say $18,000 each.
right? But they want to continue to eat out and do all these things. What is, just imagine your future self looking at you. What would your future self be saying to you?
Yeah.
So that's an exercise. Imagine your future self looking at you right now today, looking at your behaviors, looking at your finances, looking at your diet, looking at how you treat your body, looking at all those things. What would your future self be saying? 10 years in the future, what would they be saying? Girl, you are doing it, or you are disgusting.
You should be doing this.
You-
Why are you doing this?
Think about that.
You should have, would have.
Right.
A lot of times we can look back and say, man, I
Right.
wish I would have did this. I
Right.
wish I would have did that. I wish somebody would have told me.
Yeah.
But hey, right now we're telling you. We're telling you
Yeah.
what's to come in the future. So right now you can make changes. Listen, we got to go.
Because
Time is
Mr.
running out.
Henderson has a lot to do.
I got a lot.
He got a lot to do.
I
He
really-
got a lot to do. And what do you say when what do I say? I'm like, we all have a lot to do, sir.
I got a lot to do.
We all have
on
a
my
lot to
schedule. Oh my God.
Oh my God,
But
you got
but
a lot to do. Okay, I'm
How you
sorry.
tell them what's coming up this weekend? That's
I
my
don't know
daughter.
what's coming up this weekend.
Me and James. T's
That weekend.
Yes.
It's not Monday.
Okay.
It's Wednesday. You want to know what was in my shake? Okay.
Yeah,
all right,
what
so
was in
yeah,
that
no.
purple drink you was drinking. You was just green. Now it's purple.
I put some blue pea flour powder in there.
Blue pea. I never heard of blue pea.
Did you say people living longer?
Yeah.
I tell my children I got 80 more years. I'm 41 now. Add 80 to that. So yes. Thank you for tuning in. Today is Wednesday. Wednesday
Share,
show is
share,
called
share.
Transitions. On Saturday at 9 a.m. in the AM, Mr. Henderson and James T. Thomas will be here to talk about money.
Yes.
And you and I will be back next Wednesday.
Yes. I'm trying to get K. Scott Malone. This guy's an inventor. We can see if we can get him on this weekend. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. He's an
This
inventor.
Saturday, an inventor. Yeah. Inventions are important.
Yeah, he does a lot of AI also. So we're gonna see if we
Oh,
can get
that's
him.
my that's
Yeah.
my
All
topic.
right, tune in
conversation.
Saturday 9 a.m.
All right, until then,